What's worse than walking in on your wife with another man? Realizing you reloaded the wrong gun at the range this morning. Damien stepped into the bedroom and froze. His heart didn't race. Stop. There, under the soft halo of the bedside lamp, lay his wife, Lauren. Her body curled up like she used to do with him, except her head now rested on another man's bare chest. The man was asleep, arm draped around her like he belonged there. The room reeked of lavender oil, betrayal, and arrogance. Damien's hand drifted toward the nightstand. Click. He flipped off the safety of the pistol he kept hidden inside. Silently, calmly, not out of impulse, out of strategy. Then, with sudden precision, he drove a steel-toed kick into the edge of the bed. The man bolted upright in a daze, just in time to catch Damien's fist exploding into his jaw. The sound was sickening, bone meeting bone. The stranger crumpled like a marionette with its strings cut. Lauren screamed, dragging the sheets up to cover herself, a meaningless gesture at that point. "It's not what you think," she stammered. Damien's eyes were unreadable, voice cold and mechanical. "You've got 5 minutes to get him out of my house. After that, neither of you walks out." 12 hours earlier. Zurich, Switzerland. Rain tapped softly on the cobblestone street as Damien pulled into the narrow driveway of what used to be their dream townhouse. The sleek black coupe purred to a stop. He straightened his tie. The stress of another long day at the firm weighed heavy on his shoulders, but not nearly as heavy as the gnawing suspicion growing inside him. Something had felt off for weeks. Too much perfume. Too many late nights with the girls. And silence. Thick, unnatural silence. He unlocked the door. No music. No laughter. No Lauren. Only the faint, unmistakable scent of vanilla and sin. "Lauren," he called. No answer. He climbed the stairs. Each footstep sounded louder than the last, as if the house itself were bracing for impact. Then he opened the bedroom door. And saw everything. Shock hit first. Then the grief. Then a white-hot fury that threatened to break through his carefully built composure. But Damien wasn't the type to act rashly. Even with a shattered heart, he knew better than to throw everything away in one blind, emotional outburst. No, he had something else in mind. He gave Lauren her marching orders the next morning. No raised voices. No arguments. Just a single sentence as she tried to explain. "You made your choice." He didn't even look at her as she packed. In the weeks that followed, Damien disappeared from social circles. But he wasn't hiding. He was planning. Lauren thought it was over. That maybe someday they'd talk. She didn't know Damien was watching, or that her affair partner, Nathan Croft, had just become his new project. Private investigator was hired. What he found confirmed Damien's suspicions. Nathan wasn't just a homewrecker. He was also a walking liability. Gambling debts, workplace misconduct, and a second mistress living in Geneva. Now Damien had leverage. Trap. He began reeling Lauren back in. At first, just subtle things. A handwritten note slipped into her mailbox, a bouquet of her favorite peonies with no name attached. Then came a dinner invitation. She accepted, dressed in silk and delusion. At the end of the evening, Damien presented a velvet box. Inside lay the vintage diamond necklace Lauren had once cried over in a Paris antique shop. Her hands trembled. "You really mean this?" Damien smiled. Warm, reassuring, almost sincere. "We deserve a second chance." And with that, the final phase of his plan began. The collapse. Behind the scenes, Nathan's world started unraveling. Creditors received anonymous tips. His employer was alerted to irregularities in sales commissions. Within weeks, Nathan was out of a job, publicly disgraced, and being investigated by Swiss financial authorities. But that wasn't enough. Damien organized a formal gala under the guise of announcing his and Lauren's reconciliation. The venue, a historic ballroom, glittering with chandeliers and champagne flutes. Everyone who mattered was there. At the height of the evening, Damien took the microphone. I want to thank you all for coming tonight, he began. Tonight is about truth, about love, and about the cost of betrayal. Gasps erupted as a massive screen lit up behind him, displaying intimate photos of Lauren and Nathan. Hotel rooms, secret getaways, even timestamps. Lauren's smile collapsed. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She simply broke, internally, visibly, irreparably. Damien stepped down from the stage. No grand speech. Just one sentence. Thank you for teaching me what loyalty doesn't look like. The reckoning. The fallout was swift. Damien filed for divorce the next morning. The townhouse was sold. Her prized wardrobe, every designer bag and coat, donated to a women's shelter. The proceeds, used to fund a startup accelerator for underprivileged entrepreneurs, a passion Damien had always shelved for the sake of their future. Lauren tried everything. Voicemails, flowers, letters. She even showed up at his office in tears, clutching a last-ditch apology written in smudged ink. He refused to see her, blocked her, shut every door she used to walk through. In desperation, she resorted to rumors, claiming he had cheated. But no one believed her. The receipts were all public. Nathan, now bankrupt and living in a single-room flat in Basel, disappeared into anonymity. His reputation vaporized. And Damien, he wasn't just healing, he was thriving. The rebirth. From a penthouse balcony high above Zurich, Damien stood with a drink in hand. Below him, the city glowed, a quiet orchestra of light and silence. For the first time in a long time, he felt peace. It had never really been about revenge. It was about reclaiming his life, his dignity, his future. Because sometimes the most powerful closure isn't rage or vengeance or public humiliation. It's knowing that you survived the storm, and they didn't.